You're 22, fresh out of college, and your dad slides a check across the kitchen table. Not for a trip, not for new clothes. Just $3,000 and a yellow legal pad full of numbers. Put it away, he says, coffee breath, mixing with the smell of reheated leftovers. Don't touch it. Let it sit. He grew up with nothing. Your mom grew up with less. Their entire marriage was built on one unshakable rule. Safety first, not growth. Not upside. Safety. The word felt like a seatbelt clicking into place. Tight, reassuring, and impossible to ignore. You could almost hear the click in your chest. You nod. You believe him completely. You walk into the same bank your parents have used since 1989. The teller is kind. The savings rate a sleepy 0.35%. You don't ask questions. You deposit the check. Watch the number sit there like a sleeping guard. And for the first time in your life, you feel protected. Truly safe, like the future had been quietly locked away in a drawer. That's where the real story begins, not with ambition, but with obedience wrapped in love. You land a solid job, $48,000 a year. Benefits. A 401k you sign up for because HR sends the email. Default 3%. You never change it. Your dad shakes your hand like you just won the Super Bowl. In his world, your mom cooks your favorite meal that night and says, "We're so proud. You're doing it right." The rules are simple and they feel like love wrapped in caution. Never carry credit card debt. Buy a house as soon as you can. Renting is throwing money away. Stocks are gambling. Your uncle lost everything in '08. Keep 6 months' expenses liquid. Stay at the company long enough for the pension and the match. Never quit without another offer lined up. Dreams can wait. Stability cannot. Slow and steady always wins. For a while, it works beautifully. By 25, you've got $14,000 in savings. No debt. A 401k with $7,000 that you never look at because looking feels dangerous, almost rebellious. You focus on overtime, small raises, and the quiet satisfaction of watching the savings account slowly climb. At 27, you buy the house. $295,000. 3 bedrooms. Nice neighborhood with good schools and quiet streets. 10%. Done almost everything you'd saved. Mortgage, taxes, insurance. $2,250 a month. Your take-home after everything is about $3,200. You feel responsible, adult, proud. Your parents walk through the empty rooms. Your mom runs a hand along the cold countertop and whispers, "This is solid." Your dad nods, eyes a little misty, remembering the apartments they bounced between in the '80s. Solid. That word, again, it echoes like a prayer you were taught to repeat. Your buddy Alex started investing at 24. $500 a month into a simple S&P 500 index fund. By 28, he's sitting on 32,000 and change, smiling like it was easy. You hear about it at a barbecue and quickly change the subject. Your savings account earned $23. Last year, 23. You tell yourself you're winning because you have equity. The house is building wealth. The Zillow numbers creep up and that feels like progress, until the quiet years stack up and it doesn't feel like enough anymore. 31, another friend, Sarah, quits her corporate job after quietly landing 2 consulting clients on the side. 18 months later, she's clearing $170,000 working from her laptop in Lisbon, sipping espresso with views of the ocean. She rents by choice. She invests aggressively. Her brokerage account grew 11.4% last year while you earned less than your phone bill in interest. You meet her for drinks and notice she orders the wine without checking the price. You notice a lot of things at night: the ease in her laugh, the freedom in her calendar, the quiet power in her decisions. She talks about traveling to Japan next month like it's nothing. You drive home wondering why your version of success feels so heavy. Your net worth is $91,000, mostly trapped in drywall and a 30-year mortgage. Hers is over $300,000 and mostly liquid. Same starting salary, same school. Different decisions, different maps. You call your dad on the drive home. He asks about the house. You say, "It's great. Because It is great. Gray is just not the same as best, and the gap between those two words starts to ache in your chest, like an old injury you can no longer ignore. The spreadsheet phase hits hard at 36. You finally open the 401k you've ignored for 14 years. $58,000. You'd contributed 3% the whole time. The company matched 3. You chose the moderate target date fund heavy on bonds because stocks are risky. Your parents said so. The numbers don't lie. If you'd maxed it out and gone with a plain index fund from day one, you'd be looking at something closer to $210,000 right now. The difference feels like a parallel life you never lived, one where time was your biggest ally. Instead of a quiet thief, you run the projections deep into the night. Coffee going cold beside you. Current path, $420,000 at 65. Comfortable, safe, respectable. You change the assumptions 8% contribution. Broad market, starting from 22. 1.2 million, 48,000 a year in today's dollars at a 4% withdrawal rate. The screen glows like an accusation you can't look away from. You close the laptop. The kitchen is quiet, except for the hum of the fridge. That same fridge your parents stood in front of when they handed you the first check and changed the trajectory of your life without meaning to. 39. The furnace dies. $7,000 on the card because the emergency fund is thin. After the last roof repair, interest rate, 22.9%. The very thing your parents warned you about is now happening. Not because you were reckless, but because you followed every other rule too perfectly. The slow bleed isn't dramatic. It's quiet. It's compound interest working in reverse, stealing tomorrow's freedom one minimum payment at a time. 43. Another ordinary Tuesday. Same kitchen table. Your 401k is now $138,000. House equity, $104,000. Savings, $16,000. Total net worth, $278,000. Sounds respectable until you run the retirement calculator with cold honesty. 22 years left. Even if you max everything from now on and leave lean, you're looking at maybe $750,000, $30,000 a year, plus Social Security. Inflation adjusted. It's tight, livable, safe. You sit there with the numbers glowing and feel something quieter than regret. It's recognition. You followed the map they drew from their own scars, from the 80s, from factory layoffs, from neighbors who lost everything when interest rates spiked. Their fear was rational. Their love was real. They translated survival into a life plan and handed it to you like a sacred gift. But survival and thriving turned out to be two very different languages. Your parents are in their 70s now. Dad's pension and Mom's Social Security keep them comfortable. In the same modest house, they did exactly what they set out to do. They're safe. They won their game. The question you can't unask on the long drive home, radio low, streetlights passing, is, did their game prepare you for yours? Because the world changed. Information is free. Capital compounds faster than ever before. The gap between people who understand how money actually works and people who are still afraid of it is now measured in millions of dollars and decades of options. You're 44. The coffee is brewing. The calculator is closed. Somewhere, right now, another 22-year-old is sitting at a kitchen table. A parent is sliding a check across and saying, "Put it somewhere safe." The kid nods. They should. The love is real. But if they're lucky, someone else will also hand them the missing page. The one that says, safety and enough are not the same destination. Playing not to lose is still playing. And the bill for compound caution arrives quietly on a random Tuesday in April when the numbers finally tell the truth. The check was always going to be what you do after that deposit. That was always supposed to be yours.